Business Focus, brought to you by KCB. KCB, making the difference.
Thomas Watson Sr., a renowned scholar, once said, "The only way to be successful in business is to have your heart in your business and your business in your heart." Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Business Focus, the only business show that champions for the growth of both the small and medium-scale enterprises in the East African region. We also showcase the best business practices so as to help you, our viewer, develop a business idea into a viable venture. Ahead on this week's show.
Ways to fast-track business growth for SMEs. Youth in Rongai exploiting opportunities presented by recycling of scrap metal. Rwanda's youth making major strides in the ICT sector.
We welcome your feedback about the show on our email address bf@standardmedia.co.ke or SMS number 8041. Welcome to Business Focus with me, Malaa, Kivila. Research has shown that many SMEs do not live up to achieve their target goals due to varied reasons. So this week we talked to experts at Ignite Consultants to give us insight on the precautions to take to ensure business growth.
Small and medium enterprises have continued to play a pivotal role in promoting economic growth both at grassroots and national levels. Over time, they have proved competitive to established services and manufacturing firms, a trend largely attributed to SMEs' low transaction cost derived from low capital and labor. However, many of these SMEs do not stand long enough to achieve their set goals. Ignite Consulting is a firm which offers business advice and mentorship.
So basically it's a 360-degree program, which we provide 360-degree programs for managing an enterprise, and we actually find a lot of tools that we offer towards capacity building of small organizations and to scaling them upwards to big organizations. Yeah.
Like any structure, foundation for an SME must be well crafted. Thus, one should understand the market factors, policy requirements, as well as do a self-assessment on their capability to carry out the task.
The rights to understand the policy or the company law as it pertains in Kenya, and I find a lot of young people are not aware of that. I think it's good to read and understand what is out there. There are a lot of resources, a lot of information, but we need to be seeking and looking for that information so that we make informed decisions as we select what kind of business we're doing and where we want to get into.
It's important to know, to understand the terrain of what you want to engage in, right? First, is there a need for whatever you want to provide? Do you have, if there's a need, can you draw a clear business plan? Because when you have a clear business plan, you would be aiming out there, you'll be following your plan. Even when things get hard, you realize this is part of the cycle.
Lack of patience is one of the major hindrances to young entrepreneurs in the developing world. This group tends to be in need of urgent solutions, therefore giving time as well as other factors of business growth less or no consideration at all. This has seen many SMEs go down the drain before their goals are even realized.
A lot of young people have what I call the microwave solution attitude, where you just want to get there. You finish school, you want to be a CEO or a CFO and all those things, but they don't want to go through the process of actually getting there. And I think it's just people don't like getting tired nowadays. So we should focus not in the titles, but on the impact of where we are at. And I think people need to change their mindset. It's not doesn't matter where you grow up or where you come from. It's about what you think of yourself and what you're going to do about what you're good at, and accept what you're not good at, but still go ahead anyway and learn along the way.
Finances are an important resource in any business, and therefore business owners should learn to be accountable for every spending they make. This can be achieved by breeding a culture of saving as well as self-integrity.
One mistake that SMEs make, they don't separate their own personal money with money from the business, right? So you find personal expenses jumping in to their business. When the business is doing better, the owners move to a better neighborhood. They want to get a family car. not realizing this is the money that they need to inject back to the business. Because, for a business to grow, actually the petrol for any business is the cash flow. Secondly, you find when it comes to manpower, if it's a family business, you want to just pick from your relatives, not realizing whether they have the necessary skills for you to be able to grow your business. So you find yourself having issues with day-to-day operational issues, because simply you want it to be run as a family business, not realizing for you to be able to grow your business, you need a particular skill set. So it can either be from within or from without.
Missions and goals are a driving force behind any successful venture. Therefore, business owners should share the same values with those working for them. Employees should be benchmarked more on what they can do rather than what they claim they can do or how close they are to us.
You realize people are very good with presenting a very nice CV, all right? Saying, I've learned this, I've learned this, I've learned this. But when it comes to actually putting those ideas into place, there's a huge disconnect. When you see the CV and the person you've hired, there's a huge disconnect. So actually, when you're taking an individual to work for your firm, it's good taken through more of a practical interview so that you're able to tell, do they actually, when it comes to actually using whatever they've learned on the ground, are they able to do that? Secondly, are they aligned to the mission of the organization? Are they people who truly believe in what you engage in? Because if they don't believe in it, trust me, you won't go anywhere, even if they have the best skills in the planet.
With all these factors, complemented with good customer care, it is given that businesses will be successful.
It's important for SMEs to engage in value addition because it's more sustainable. Most SMEs have been engaged into trading principally, where they want to make quick money today, which is not sustainable. But when you are creating value, you focus on the value, money will follow, right? You're able to create employment, you're able to give a solution, and something that's you actually see your legacy when you're creating value. Because most SMEs in this country have gone into deals. I was surprised when, like Konza City, the idea came up. Most people are thinking, okay, so how much cement can I provide? Not thinking, how can I invest there for me to reap in full life moving forward? But people are thinking, okay, fine, how many cements can I provide? Who do I need to see to be able to provide this cement? So we need to be focused more on value addition and creating value if we want to move this country to the next level.
After this short break, we'll take you to Ongata Rongai, where a young man is putting scrap metal into good use.
KCB Group is targeting emerging opportunities in oil and gas sectors in the region to meet the needs of regional investors and customers. As these sectors move to the commercial production stage, KCB will monitor the developments in the upstream and midstream oil and gas sectors to develop customized short-term and long-term financial solutions.
There are initiatives ongoing across the whole of the East African region to explore for these natural resources and to exploit them. Being present in each of the countries in the region, we're able to interface with customers who may be looking to invest in this sector and to work with them to develop solutions, financing solutions for whatever role they would be playing in that sector. And so we're able to bring to bear our experience in corporate banking, our experience in structuring customized solutions to assist them in that regard.
There will be significant investment opportunities across the oil value chain to include the infrastructure to deliver oil to the marketplace, such as drilling rigs, pipelines and oil jetties. KCB is the largest bank in the region in terms of asset base and branch network, with a presence in 6 countries, namely Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Sudan and Burundi.
KCB has already been involved in supporting power projects in this country in the past. And we intend to continue supporting them, especially now that the new resources are being exploited. In this regard, in addition to our lending capacity, we're also looking to invest and boost our technical capacity to offer advisory services to enable investors in these sectors to actually bring their projects to fruition.
The key is to deliver value-added services that customers require, as well as build technical capacity and required skills. The bank has been supporting the energy sector by providing working capital and long-term financing for existing oil and electric power sectors across the existing downstream supply chain.
Non-biodegradable waste continues to pose a high risk to the environment in the developing world. Scrap metal is considered a safety hazard to both animals and mankind. The Kenyan government, through the local authorities and the multinational recycling companies and individuals, are increasingly engaging in solid waste management and recycling of waste as a measure to keep the environment clean, though more still needs to be done. At this remote home in Ongata Rongai area in Nairobi, we meet Japheth Njenga, an entrepreneur who has identified a niche in solid waste management. Njenga makes a living out of scrap metal recycling and at the same time playing a noble role of conserving the environment.
Biashara yenyewe nilianzisha manake kuna mahali nilikuwa nikifanya kazi. Nikaona sasa kulingana na mahitaji yangu ya kimaisha, pesa yenyewe nilikuwa nikipata kwa siku hazikuwa zinanitosha. So nikajikaza pia mimi kaanza kufungua workshop yangu ili nijiajiri mimi mwenyewe. Sasa nikafungua workshop yangu, nikatafuta pia clients na nikaajiri watu.
Japheth has ventured into recycling of aluminum and brass metals over the last 2 years. Though many may dismiss him due to the crude methods and tools of trade he uses, the feel of his final products has a lot to be desired. Njenga buys his raw materials from local scrap vendors and transports them to his workshop, where a rigorous process of transforming them into metallic goods is done. The metals are put into a fire chamber where they are subjected to high temperatures by heating with the use of pressured kerosene lit flame. This process roughly takes a period of about 20 minutes, after which the scrap metal starts melting. Impurities and materials with high melting points float from the hot liquid and are carefully then removed. What remains is a clear metallic grey liquid.
Unaona ile chuma unamwaga vile umeona kwa mold, unamwaga inakatwa inapitia kwa mashini. Kwa mashini inapitia processes 5. Kuna hiyo rough, after sasa kuna hizo paper kama 4 zenye ni fine, sasa ndio unapata ile fine quality kabisa. After una polish inang'ara, sasa inakuwa kama dhahabu.
Metallic or clay molds of different designs are used to create customized artistic shapes. At times, Njenga's clients determine the nature and designs according to their needs. At the workshop, the boiling liquid is carefully scooped and poured into engraved molds to form the desired shapes. They are then left to cool, and upon revealing it, a replica of the engraved mold is formed. This step is repeated severally to create the desired number of objects. The shapes are further refined through cutting out the unwanted parts and smoothing the edges. The final products ready for the market includes metallic rings, bangles, strap holders for bags, metallic parts for belts, as well as chains. Njenga makes about 60,000 shillings in a good month from the sales of these accessories. He is working towards increasing his outputs and sales in the coming months so as to increase his profit margins.
Kimaisha nimeendelea. Kama ujenzi ya workshop nimefanya, vitu mingi pia nimefanya. Na pia hata imenisaidia manake through your workshop kuna vijana kadhaa ambao nimeajiri pia wanajiinua kimaisha.
Even as he continues to combat a myriad of challenges he faces on his path to success, Njenga is glad that he is making an honest income from his enterprise, as well as create employment for the youth in his neighborhood, keeping them away from engaging into self-destructive vices such as drugs and crime.
Miaka 5 hivi nikiendelea tu vizuri, naona nitakuwa nimefanya maendeleo kubwa Mtu anaweza kuwa nimenunua hata shamba labda nikajenga vitu kama zile. Na pia nitapanua niajiri hata watu wengi sasa itoke saa kuwa workshop iko sasa ni kama industry.
Njenga goes without a mention as a hard-working young man whose story demystifies unemployment.
Maisha yani siku hizi inabidi utumie ujanja. Juu pia si lazima tutegemee labda uajiriwe kazi ama lazima uanze kutafuta kazi, utume CV ama vitu kama zile. Hizi hata kazi za jua kali ni mingi na bidii ya mtu ndio inadetermine kenye anaweza fanya. Pia kuna wengine unaweza pata wanakaa tu na wanasema hakuna kazi juu. Hiyo yani ni saying tu, ni kama ni saying imekuaga. Ati hakuna kazi. Kazi nazo ziko, yani tu bora wewe ni ufikirie kenye unaweza fanya na ujiamini yani wewe mwenyewe. Kutoka ndani yako kwa umejiamini. Okay, naweza jaribu kitu fulani. Na ukifail pia usife moyo. Unatia bidii. Juu maisha is full of challenges. Kuna challenges mingi. Juu hata mimi nimepitia mingi kabla nifike mahali nimefikia. Unaanguka, unang'ang'ana, unainuka.
This week in the regional markets, we showcase how small and medium-scale enterprises are making an impact in Rwanda. Take a look.
Rwanda is one of the fastest growing African countries in ICT sector, boasting of several avenues for growth of the sector, from e-commerce and e-services, mobile technologies, application development and automation to become a regional center for training of top quality ICT professionals and research. With a population of more than 11 million, Rwanda's robust ICT industry is creating wealth, jobs and emerging entrepreneurs. Today in the regional markets, we spend time here in Rwanda with a company dubbed Igihe.com, an emerging Rwandan youthful company that is making major strides in the ICT sector.
Actually, we are in the IT and media. On the IT side of the company, we offer different services such as actually web-based services such as web development, web design, application customization, web hosting, and several more services.
Igihe means time in Kinyarwanda, and just like the name suggests, the company boasts of being the first one of its kind to provide an online platform where the Rwandan community can access local and international news on the local language.
You could see like a lot of people like commenting and have like over 200, 300 comments on an article. People expressing themselves because they can't do that on radios. People will recognize their voices. They can't do that on TV, but they discovered a way of expressing themselves and making themselves heard through internet.
The company, initiated by three youthful partners, namely Meyer Murinda Bingwi, Willy Liamba and Emily Murekezi, developed the Igihe product after realizing that the majority of the Rwanda population mainly speaks Kinyarwanda and do not benefit from information and news since it is usually in either English or French.
Before you used to know about things like 1 week after reading weekly newspapers, but actually they could know about anything at the very moment, anything happening. So that was unusual. And actually, people also, instead, apart from being informed in a very fast way than usual, because actually they could mainly wait for those weekly publications or waiting for news editions on radio stations like in the night. But actually, with Igihe.com, as soon as something could happen, it was the only place to get like confirmations and everything in detail.
Initiated in the year 2009, Igihe.com has had a steady growth and is today attracting traffic of up to 1 million visitors per day.
The business atmosphere in the country kept on changing in a positive way, to the way that most of the people, some of us, we actually thought of creating our own business instead of being job seekers. And since the government was focusing on the IT sector, that encouraged us to do what we do now.
Being the most trusted online platform for breaking news in Rwanda, the company makes revenue from online advertising as well as developing online applications and developing websites for the local market in Rwanda.
IT in Rwanda is a growing sector. It's a growing sector as more and more people are now being connected. Internet users, the number of internet users is growing. And people offering web-based services, IT-oriented services, they're making it because it's a sector that is growing.
Igihe has a skilled workforce of 30 permanent young employees and hires more depending on the workload at any given time.
I don't know if there's any other place where it is really easy doing business as it is in Rwanda. It is very easy if you look at the policies in place, if you look at the environment, if you look at the people, like the minds are changing and people are being more and more dynamic, and actually the policies that eases to do business.
Since the company was initiated, it has had an annual growth of more than 100% since the second year in operation when they broke even.
Annually we make over 100 million Rwandan francs.
The company has benefited from support by the government and other finance institutions for expansion and is currently working on extending its products and services to Burundi and other East African states.
We are starting offering the same services as we offer in Burundi, and we are starting a Kirundi version, which will be the fourth language, because we currently have English, French, and Kinyarwanda.
Rwanda's internet penetration has grown from less than 1% in the year 2000 to up to 7% at the end of December 2011. With existing ICT infrastructure as well as access network rollout program, internet penetration is projected to increase tremendously over the coming years, and Igihe intends to be one of the beneficiaries in the sector by rolling out more customized products to benefit the entire East African region.
That story brings us to the close of this week's show. We continue to welcome your comments, questions on our email address bf@standardmedia.co.ke or SMS number 8041. Let's also continue with this conversation on our Facebook page and Twitter handle displayed on your screen. From myself and the entire KTM team, thank you for watching. I am Malaa Kivila. Good night and God bless.
Business Focus, brought to you by KCB. KCB, making the difference.